It's the weekend. Let's look at some of the charts. What I would like to do is go over the charts that y'all recommended, the stocks that y'all recommended, and keep a running list of those stocks. We can start to remove some of the stocks that just there's no setup, there's nothing really anything for it to take a trade in those stocks, and we'll just delete those. But we'll just keep a running list of opportunities, and then you can always suggest more stocks in the chat room. I'll put them on the list. We'll look it over, and if we decide to keep them, we'll just keep a running list of opportunities. But I want to first start off with the S&P and just kind of, I don't trade on the fundamentals. I trade on the charts. I take fundamentals sometimes and kind of keep it in context. I think it's important to have a context of where you're at in the market, what's going on, what are some possibilities. But I always lean on the charts to determine whether I get in or out of a stock. So, in terms of context, I think the Fed they didn't say very much, but they said a lot in essence by removing forward guidance. Their plan is to be more opaque. Transparency is gone. They're not going to continue to have guidance on what they may possibly do or what they see in the future of the economy and so forth. They've kind of eliminated their 2% rule. There's that particular Fed conference. I didn't listen to it live, but I can understand why the market kind of sold off as it was progressing into the day. But what really surprised me was that the market didn't continue selling off on Thursday. It actually put in a pretty bullish candle, and that surprised me a lot because in the past, if Jerome Powell had made that kind of speech where he didn't say anything, Walsh didn't say anything, and just basically indicated that by not saying anything that they're kind of expecting the economy to worsen from here. Possibilities of hikes in the Fed funds tool increased, that there's possibly 2 hikes this year, which is crazy to think that that's happening and the market is still showing bullishness. So that was a bit surprising to me. If we look at the S&P, for the most part, like I said on Thursday, or I'm sorry, on Wednesday when they came out, you put in this huge red candle, and I expected this continue to move down and test this support down here, and it didn't continue. There was no follow through for the bears, and then it put in this kind of reversal candle, and it's still maintaining this reversal above the support area, and pretty much right at this pivot area. So I generated a Pine script that keeps all my levels of where I want to look at in terms of the options chain. That's kind of one of the edges that I like to have in my trading is where are people set up in the options chain? Where are they waiting to buy? Where are they waiting to possibly sell? Where's kind of support? Where's kind of resistance, so forth. And then I incorporate the technical analysis with it and how the chart is setting up. And then I may take a setup trade with it. But Thursdays just was really surprising. It was able to kind of stay above the support area, and it looks like it just wants to move higher. If you look at the NDX, and I think NDX is what has been kind of taking the S&P with it higher, because this looks like it wants to go for another leg higher. You can kind of see that, this was a huge dip, and it completely recovered all of this. That's bullish. And I guess you could say it filled in the structure here to provide more support for the upside, and it's ready to kick off the next leg higher, which is just crazy to me. And then within the NDX, it's only the semis and the memory chips that are, or memory stocks that are really driving the market right now. And The NDX case, it's really just taking the S&P on its back and just carrying it much higher. And this looks like it wants to move higher. So I don't know what next week's going to look like. I mean, it just seems like a herky jerky type of market right now, and I'm really surprised if you are profitable in this type of market trading your trading style, stick with it because that's extremely impressive. Yeah, I would expect more upside according to this, and it's like I said, it's only a few names that are moving this market higher, and so you want to look at those names to see if they're slowing down at all. And Mu doesn't look like it's slowing down at all. It's already kicked off the next leg higher. Um, SanDisk is another one. Look at that. That's an extremely bullish chart right there. Um, it hasn't found a top yet. There's demand for shares. Um, AMD AMD is ready to break all time highs. It's ready to fill this gap or this space right here and move higher. It's wanting to go higher here, and if it breaks this area, you want to be in it at 250 or 547. What's another one? Intel. Ridiculous. I mean, I'm not in the AI space, but I hear that Intel has a lot of crap equipment that they provide, and it for many people that follow the company, they're shocked that it's uh it's running like this. But this is going to continue to run, just like SanDisk is performing. I mean, this looks exactly like the same pattern. It just wants to move higher. So until these stocks start to lose steam, I don't think that the market slows down at all. I think it continues to grind higher. And yes, I have yeah, I have all these levels that are to the downside, and I still think that they're going to fill at some point this year. But there was no follow through right here. There was no continuation to the downside. It found support, it bounced, it filled a gap right here, and then now it wants to just go higher. It looks like I have this teal line here that I'm kind of using as my bullish bearish type of line in the sand. It found resistance here. It was able to get above it here, not for very long. It tested it as kind of like a support area, and that broke through. And it was staying above it, and now it's just below it, but it looks like it wants to move higher above it. It's really hard to gauge where this market's going, but until those AI names, the semiconductors and the memory stocks, until they slow down, I don't think this market slows down at all. Just keep an eye on it. Just keep an eye on these targets to see if they get hit. Let's go ahead and go over the list of stocks that we have. So first one up is FTAI. So FTAI looks really bullish. It looks really good. It's just kind of consolidating up here until the next move higher. It broke out of the pattern, which is bullish. It came down, found support. It did not go back inside the pattern, which is bullish, and it moved a little higher. And I have this pivot area at 278. If it's able to get above there, these highs are in jeopardy of getting taken out, and it's going to get up to this 297 and squeeze up to 300. These primary and expanded are just targets, higher targets. So that's the bullish case. If it's able to get above this pivot and get up to the 297 and move higher. The bearish case is if the support gets tested again, it's unable to hold, it gets back into the pattern. Chances are, once it gets back in the pattern, you want to look to see if there's buyers ready to kind of try and push it back up, or if there's any sign of buying. If there isn't, chances are it's going to come back down to this area at 250, and that's the area where there definitely should be buyers. And if there isn't, that means they've removed their contracts, their calls, and they're not wanting to buy at that level anymore. And chances are this gap's going to get filled, and I would definitely be out at that point because if it breaks the 250 area, because it'll definitely come down and test the bottom of this trend line, this pattern. But yeah, just see how it behaves up here. It looks like it's just wanting to consolidate before moving higher again. NVIDIA. So NVIDIA looks good. It let me kind of take a side step here and look at something else. So I was looking at that performed over the year. So let's go to the beginning of the year. These are all the AI names and how they performed. And look at NVIDIA. It's all the way down here. I mean, I think it's like at 13% or whatever for the year. And all of these other names have just tremendously outperformed. Marvell, Western Digital. It's really insane. These things aren't stopping. They're just continuing to explore higher. Uh, may have some bullishness set up in some of these other names like Qualcomm, AVGO. We'll go over AVGO in a minute. But it looks like they're wanting to move up higher. Yeah, I mean, these are just kind of blow off toppy-ish kind of looking. What's the other one I was looking at? I don't think I have it here. Oh yeah, here it is. So I actually put silver and gold into the chart just to see how it's performed over the silver's just completely collapsed. Silver's going to go down much lower. We can maybe look at those charts later. And gold, the same thing with gold. If there's a possibility of increase in rate hikes, that's not good for the metals or the miners. I'm actually short some gold and silver miners in my side portfolio, and I was short a little bit of silver, and that did pretty well. But stocks like FCX, I would not be in because even though the price of oil, and I think oil is on here too. Is oil on here? I have oil. Oh yeah, here it is. I think the reason why I took it off is because it throws the whole chart off. But look at oil coming down, and we'll look at oil in a minute right after this. I know we're getting off on a sidetrack here, but um, it's coming down. But I have a hard time believing it's gonna come all the way back down. But yeah, I mean, you certainly have the sectors of the S&P, the technology sector, just moving higher, where all these other ones are coming down. Energy's coming down. Um, these healthcare, um, real estate's not. I mean, it's performed slightly above zero, but you got a lot of these sectors that are just meandering down at the bottom. It's oil. Let's look at oil just real quick. US. Oh, I think oil may have bottomed, but in this nice reversal right before it got down to this gap. I don't think this gap is going to fill. I think it's going to move back up above 78, 88. The whole open close Schrodinger's straight is what they call it now, because I guess if you don't know about it, you don't know whether it's open or closed. Um, the whole political nonsense that's going on right now, right before the midterms, because people are just trying to cover their butts, is just ridiculous. And for the price of oil just to have dropped like this based on tweets and sentiment, it's just, it makes it really difficult to trade. You got the one spike early when this whole thing started, and it tried to get back up there, but it's just been kind of slowly grinding down lower. But I think we may have put in a bottom, which may be good for oil stocks. We'll have to kind of monitor those to see if there may be a second chance to get in to maybe get some profits there. But let's go back to our list. So NVIDIA, yeah. So NVIDIA, the easy money to be made here is if it breaks above this 211.30. If it breaks above there, you may want to take a trade just to see if it can stay above there and then move up higher to this 217.50. And if it gets above that level, it'll squeeze to 220. There's an expanded target at the top at 236, but that I don't think that that's the easy money right there. I think this is the easy money right here if it's able to make this move. The bear case is if it's not able to get above there and it tests support again, breaks 207. There's no more buyers at 205. They're not coming in to buy. It breaks down lower at 200. If it breaks 200, it is going to test down here at 194, and if it breaks that, good lord, I mean it's gonna come back to this gap down here. First this gap and then this gap. But I don't think the AI trade is anywhere near over, especially when all these hyperscalers are increasing their capex, and Nvidia is just doing this funny financing to increase their revenues. But yeah, I think this is the move I may want to take right here. We'll watch it on this week. AVGO. So AVGO, gosh, this is killing me because I think I got in on some calls on this candle and it just completely reversed at that point. I got out. I figured we were going to test down these lows. It might have been on this extreme candle right here where I just got out, and now it's completely taken that back. It's above support. It's approaching this pivot area. It's actually above it slightly, and it wants to test up to this next target at 430. The trigger's at 432. If it gets above there, it's likely going to 450. If it gets above that, it's going to fill the gap. So that's the move right there in AVGO. It certainly has to get over all of this noise up here. So within this kind of zone area, you could see it chop around a bit and then move higher. I don't think it just quickly goes straight through it. It's kind of what I'm looking at. We're going to drop Mavis from the list. I mean, this thing is. I mean, could it go to zero? We're going to drop it from the list. Tesla. Tesla. So Tesla put in this nice reversal candle, staying above support. It has to stay also above this. Gosh, what is that? Let's see here. Yes, or 390. As long as it stays above 390, you want to just see if it can move higher, and you want to see if it can break. It's a downtrend line. Most likely, it's going to go up to this 420, and more than likely, it's going to get pinned up here. There's a lot of confluent levels up there. I don't think it's just going to rocket up off of that level. I think we're going to see a little bit of consolidation before it needs to move up higher, if it's going to take that route. But it's getting down towards these bottom levels. It could easily fall out. If it gets below 390, it's most likely going to see this support right here. It's likely going to come down to 364. So it's at the point where it needs to make a decision. I don't think it's going to continue to consolidate down here. If so, that's bearish because it's just going to continue to tap at this bottom right here before it breaks. Adobe. So Adobe, I want to take this off of the list. I'll keep it on maybe for another week to see what it does. But I mean, it couldn't hold above the support area. Once it triggered, and these triggers can go to the downside as well. If it gets below 190, it's going to force it down to 181. I had a capitulation level here at 181, and that still may happen. If it gets past that, I mean, it could be in free fall. Good Lord. I mean, this thing could really fall. Um, this thing could drop. Support is over here. Let's keep it on the list for just one more week, just to see what it can do. Team is doing nothing. It's going down. Take it off the list. ANET. ANET. Just kind of consolidating. It's above the support area. It's just finding buyers up here just to hold it. And it's just basically when you see these ranges, it's just a fight between bears and bulls. There's no real winner. They're just maintaining the price. Once it gets above this 177, it's most likely going to move up to 180. If it's able to get above 180, it could run. It could get up to 185 and then 200 area. It's not doing anything. We'll take it off the list. V is not doing anything either. Off the list. Cogent. Cogent's definitely coming off the list. Sorry, there's just nothing here. And I don't care if they refinance their debt, if they buy back shares. I don't care what they announce. The chart is telling you get out. This doesn't look like support, and there was nothing there before that suggests it's going to bounce there. Um, I lost money in this, so maybe I'm a little bit bitter about it, but it's got to come off the chart. There's nothing there. So it looks great. It's just consolidating up here. As it stays above this 396, it's good. There. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is man, this chart looks really bad. It looks really, really bad. Isn't much of a weekly bounce. That's the thing. Looks like it just wants to roll over and break this 58 support, 58.7. The next one is 42 and then 26 and a half. I have this box area between September and January, and that's usually when the previous cycles have bottomed during that period. So we may see it. I want to keep track of this area to see if we see some kind of bottoming pattern. But I don't know whether this box should be up here or down here, or who knows it's going to go. I'm actually short going via MSTR, and I'll show you that in a minute. But I mean, you could see that it's just that's a really tough candle to overtake. In order for it to resume the uptrend, it has to it has to come up to 73. And I think if you put I don't know if the 200-day support area, the SMA, is right there, but I don't think it's going to hold. It bounced off of it, but I just have a hard time believing that any of this area is going to hold. If it's already put in a lower low, there's not much of a bounce here, and it looks like it just wants to come back and test this area. Chances are this 58.7 is going to get tested, and if that doesn't hold, then it could drop quite a bit. Maybe this area down here at 52.6 can hold, maybe somewhere around there. Um, yeah, it doesn't look good. So let's look at MSTR. So I shorted this in the Substack portfolio with some puts. I think I used puts. I can't remember if I'd used shares or puts. At any rate, look at this. This is just a pitiful type of bounce right here. There was really no sign of strength. It didn't even get up to kind of fill this gap area. It wants to test lower. It's back in this area. And once this 102 goes, I definitely think 100 is a hurdle that or a support area where it'll definitely need to get below. You can see there's nothing here that suggests that it could quite fill these gaps down here, but maybe down to the 66 area. And there's a guy who shorted it with me. He's looking at $13 area, which would be a hell of a short, but I'm not looking at that yet. There's a lot of other areas where it could bounce, and who knows? It may bounce this weekend. Bitcoin could open up on Monday up and take MSTR with it. So see how this plays out. But I definitely think that the shorts or the bears are in control of the stock. So Ethereum doesn't look good either. It's down at this close to the support area at 1500. And this bounce isn't much of anything either. I mean, I don't even think it's taken back half of this candle to show any kind of sign of strength. So just like Bitcoin, it looks like it just wants to roll over. BTBT. So BTBT looks good. And I thought it was going to go the way of Ethereum, but it's actually looking really good. And the reason why it may be looking like it wants to explore higher prices is because maybe their ownership in WYFI, which we'll look at later. Somebody else suggested WYFI, and we'll look at that. It's extremely bullish, but it may be taking BTBT with it, which would be nice. I'm not in it, but I know several of y'all are in it. It's 200-day. So yeah, I mean if it breaks above this resistance at 226, it's going to move up into this higher area. There may be a shelf up here. Maybe right 213. Let's see here. Close this. Maybe right there. Maybe at 290, somewhere around there. It'll test the top of this range up here and then hopefully get up here in this area. And absolutely, if it gets up to 526, you want to be in this stock because it's taken back all of this. It's taken back this entire correction right here. And it's off to the races. People are going to start chasing it for whatever reason. I don't know why. It definitely will pick up momentum. So just watch that. Vi is a buy and hold stock. It's not really something I would trade, so we'll take it off the list. But it looks bullish if you're in it. Car is the same thing, bullish, but it's a buy and hold stock. Blue, oh, look at that. staying within this range, and it hasn't broken out yet, but it tried to, and it's been a while since it's actually gotten above that level. It's been about a year maybe since it's been back above that area. Watch it. See how it behaves up here if it's able to get back up to this high, and then certainly if it's able to test these highs up here at 53.84, it may be interesting there. Keep it on the list. We'll watch it. SUBC. So SUBC is consolidating. There's nothing really to do here. Still the possibility of this target as long as 328.40 doesn't get taken out. So it looks strong. It looks good. It's just building some base before it moves up higher. Cost is not really providing any kind of setup. We'll delete it. New is bearish. It's going to continue to go down. Moss I was looking at, it looks pretty interesting. So you have this it's in this channel. I wouldn't call it a cup and handle pattern anymore. The handle is basically usually when it gets to about 50%, it's make or break, and it definitely broke. It's I mean, this could have been capitulation here. This looks like a capitulation kind of type of candle, and it's staying above it, which is bullish. It's above this pivot area. Well, it's actually not. It's about 5 cents, but it's in the area. It's staying in that pivot area. If it gets above this trigger at 24, could squeeze up to this 25 and it most likely stay up here within this area. Just get pinned up there. But there's all this space up here. And this is what I'm talking about in terms of you don't need to be. I mean, I think I may have taken a trade here anticipating the break and it broke. It showed that it wasn't going to sustain up here. I got out and I didn't experience any of this pain. This is a case where you just continue to watch it, see how it responds. And if it starts to show any kind of strength, and this is a bit of a sign of strength right here, right? You put it on your watch list and you just continue to watch it. You don't need to experience this stress right here. This is agony. This is pain. This is keeps you up at night. Did I make the right choice? Let me look for bullish articles on this, and what is Twitter saying, and what is social media saying. Don't put yourself through all that mess. Wait till the chart shows you that there's some bullishness or some strength here. See if there's some follow through. See if it can break above certain levels, and then maybe take another shot. And if it does the same thing here, you get out. You keep your loser small. That's the key to staying in this in the game. But you could now take advantage of all of this up here if it's able to squeeze up higher. So we'll keep it on the list. We'll watch it, see how it performs, see how it behaves in this area, and if it shows some strength, then we'll take a shot at it. See anything here. It hasn't really done anything in a while. I'm going to take it off the list. It had a good day though on it's flagging up here. It's tested a new low, so it could just be a bounce and then a rollover. I'm going to take it off the list. Was not really doing anything. I'm also going to take it off the list. I'm not a fan of these drug companies. It's really hard to make money in drug companies. It's a make or break with their drugs, and you don't know until the press release that it was a success or not, and there's a possibility that it could bring in revenue, and a lot of these drug companies, they get taken out, get bought out, merged, so forth. I'm not a big fan of the healthcare company, although, or the healthcare sector, except the health insurance. I was looking at Oscar the other day, and I know it's not on the list, but it looks really good. It's just consolidating up here, right above this trigger area, and it's not. I mean, it keeps on rejecting these lower lows up here, or these lower areas down here, and staying above this level. I haven't updated the levels on Oscar, but I'll do that later because I think it's something that it looks like it's just ready to put in a base before another move higher. But this is a great bullish move right here because it corrected, and now it had momentum to take this next leg up, and now it's just consolidating before the next leg up. It's not correcting like this, so that's a sign that there's demand up here. QMAT's not doing anything. I'm going to take it off the list. It's correcting it, put in a lower high. This support looks like it wants to get tested, and then you want to see whether people come in at this 1131. If they don't come in, it's going to test this bottom area at $10. And if that goes, we're looking at the lows right here at 778. But comes down and tests this trend line. I mean, it's kind of shaky there. I would just watch to see if this can hold. If you're in it and it breaks 1205, I would start maybe planning my exit because if this doesn't hold, it's definitely coming down. SMR, SMR is it has this kind of reversal kind of pattern. Man, look at that. 13%, 13.5% day. Jeez, that's nice. I hope whoever suggested it is still in it. Maybe he got in down here, or maybe added. Looks good. See if it can get up to the top of this range. It needs to get above this trigger at 12, and then it could potentially squeeze up higher. Kind of see there's two. The way I always look at these things is I look at them like icebergs. So this is the water level, and it's staying above the water here. It gets below the water. Doesn't spend too much time below the water. It gets above it, comes back, spends more time below it, and if it's able to recover and get above the water line, which is this trigger pinning area, and just even if it consolidated up in this area, that's bullish because eventually it's going to continue to test this top of the range and then break out. And it looks like it has some room to run if it does break out. Yeah. So if this 1101 breaks, I would certainly get out. It's just within a pattern. There's nothing really to look at. I'll take it off the list. I really don't see anything here. I mean, it could reverse and it's continue to test this top of the range, but doesn't look like a big mover. So let me take Hims. Hims is bullish. People are chasing this stock. You can tell. Uh, this thing is squeezing, and I'm going to assume on Monday it's going to continue to squeeze higher up to this 40 area. Had 11% on Thursday. It's good. Hold above 31. Got up to this trigger area, fired, and it's starting its squeeze. So see if it can get up to this 40, and then you got these two upper targets at 41, 46. I wouldn't chase it though. I mean, it's The time to get in it was once it broke out right here. Once it continued to oops, to move up higher. It was the time to buy. And then you could have added up here. These levels were down here though, but you would have added on this breakout right there, and now you're really in the trade. And I would just sit and let it get to 40 and take my profits there. That would have been a nice swing trade right there. Eastman Chemical, just trading within a zone. There's really nothing here. I think the hope was that closure of the Strait of Hormuz was going to get these chemical companies going, but it just hasn't. I'm going to take it off the list. Let's go into the miners. So I added some of the miners to the portfolio uh, because, um, there wasn't much of a take back, and now it's above that kind of FTAI, and that's bullish. So, and I don't understand what's really driving these stocks. I know that they're kind of suspected to be a part of the AI story, but coin was going down and these things are going up, which is good. I mean, these things could really squeeze much higher, gain quite a bit of momentum. You're looking at 31.26 for WULF. If it get above there, it's going to go to 33. Then you got these two higher targets. IREN put in a really nice bullish candle. Um, as long as it holds above this 58.74, and I think support is at 58, um, it looks good. It looks like it's going to. Here's a setup right here where you get a breakout, and then you look for it to fill this gap prior to these 71, 73, and 84 up here. It's certainly going to run. These things tend to, once they run, they run. Look at this. I don't know how big of a move that is, but once it gets going, it's like a train. Just takes off and then consolidates, gets corrected, and Iron's kind of tricky in that it has these wild swings, but some of these other ones, they get going. They start to take off. CIFR, I added CIFR also on Thursday, I believe. It's above support. It's above the high. It put in a higher high, all-time high. It tested this trigger area, came back down. As long as it stays above the support, this trigger's in jeopardy of getting broken, and then it's off to 35, top of the range. It's really nice. It's about time. It's just consolidating above the support area, putting in a nice base for it to move up to the $20 area. And if it gets above there, which I think it's going to get pinned, there's a lot of calls, a lot of confluency here with different levels at 20. It'll probably maybe get pinned up here, consolidate, and then you look for the next move. And they're all staying above support area, and they look like they want to take back the Fed day. So if it gets above the trigger at 130, it's going to squeeze. Certainly, all-time highs are in jeopardy if it does get above there, and then the target is 146. Keel is one of my favorite. It looks so good, man. If it breaks that, I haven't got any targets yet, but you would probably kind of look at the range here and see how far it can go up. But I have dollars as a target in one of my other charts, but I really like this chart. It looks so bullish. It's moved away from support, the upside, and about 29, 30 is hit. Then we look to see if 32 will get hit shortly after that. It looks bullish. and above support, and it's trying to test the trigger. All of these are trying to test this trigger level where they can then squeeze higher. So they all look good. And then there was a couple of requested ones like eToro, and I'm not a fan of eToro, but I mean the chart looks good. It's trying to stay above support. It's just flagging up here and putting in a base. It put in a base over here and moved higher. Corrected some, tested to some support area. Um, it's moved higher and it's just kind of consolidating here before the next move higher. So I would look to see if this top gets hit around $44, and then the next target is 45. It's good. Why? I think when it IPO'd, I might have bought some and taken profit somewhere around here. But yeah, if it gets above 40.83, you want to be in it. It's going to run higher. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. We'll try to do this maybe once a week where we go over this list of a running list of stocks that y'all are interested in looking at, and just seeing how it's moving up, or whether it's the chart pattern's not holding and we can take it off the list if we don't see a setup. So we'll leave it at that. Okay. All right. Bye.